Hello, Jester Good here, back with another review. Today for Throwback Thursday, as the kids call it, we're going to be taking a look at this LEGO Viking set from 2005. So this is the Viking Warrior challenges the Fenris Wolf. A $5 set back in that time, and it has 75 pieces and one minifigure. This is unopened, so let's open it up. Ooh, I already damaged the box. Dang, I want to keep the box as intact as I can, but the side got a little bit damaged in the thumb punch. And there you go, you got one instruction booklet and 2 bags of pieces. So here's a Viking Warrior. He has a battle axe, which has a really kind of cool speckled color to it, and he has this nice sword. His face is a little bit more uncommon. I know it was used with the king's face in the Castle Fantasy line sets, but I love that helmet the most, which has that same kind of speckled metal kind of design that the battle axe has. He also has a little armor plate. Underneath that armor plate is a very cool looking torso that's only found in about 2 other sets, and there's no back printing on that torso. There's actually 2 builds to the set. You got the Fenris Wolf, and then you have this little defense station. Let's take a look at that Fenris Wolf, because it's a very odd build that you wouldn't see in LEGO, I guess, nowadays. Something about it doesn't look so clean, but I think that's what I like about this set. It's mostly built out of Technic-like parts, really not using any bricks, but that gives it a very kind of different look. It gives it kind of a feel to the whole theme. It was kind of a pain in the butt to build, I'm not going to lie there, because I'm not really experienced so much with Technic-like builds, but it just gives it a very, kind of, I guess, more authentic look than a brick-built one would look. It looks a lot more sleek, and it looks a lot more scary, honestly. I do love the use of this little Technic pin in red for the eyes, because it just gives it kind of this red glaring type of look. Also, this molded head, which you can see is a piece that I don't know if it was used for other stuff, but I could imagine it was probably used throughout the Vikings line for different animals. You could see that it has a nice kind of mold to it that is actually just attached by this little Technic part right here, and then you stick a Technic pin right there, and it has holes for teeth or whatever you want to stick in his mouth. Other than that, there's this nice little body build right here, which has some kind of ridges to it, which looks like kind of a rib cage type build. And then the legs are such an unconventional build, where they use these kind of arm pieces, and they also use these little T pieces and some modified plates, 1x1 plates with little hinges or clips on the end of them. And it just adds to this really unconventional look. It doesn't look so robotic unless you look at it just at the legs at the bottom. But once you look at the head and everything, it kind of gives it the complete animal-like look. There's a lot of points of articulation as well, which really surprises me. This tail right here actually controls this whole back body. You see the little 2 hind legs are actually on this little Technic pin, which you could rotate to your liking. So I think that's actually really cool, so you can make it in different poses. And of course you could move these little bottom legs like this, so you could push them in different positions. While these are actually on these little Technic pins that you can't move, the legs, like I said, you can move to push it maybe in a jumping way or a standing up way or whatever you want. And the head is all on this ball joint right here, so you can position it in different looks. So it really makes for some different poses that you want to make. And yeah, very unconventional build, and I'm very surprised at how it's built, because I've never seen quite a build like it. But it makes me want to explore the Vikings line more, so perhaps I'll get more sets of it. And then the side build is very small, but a little bit unconventional, because I haven't seen this piece before. I'd imagine it was used with construction. It has a little Technic axle right there, and it looks a little bit like a shield type piece. And you just kind of attach it to that modified brick right there. They also give you these 2 red crystals, and then there's this sphere popping out of the little shield right there, which you could kind of rotate. That build is just used as a little defense to the Fenris Wolf. And we already took a look at the box, but here's a look at the instruction booklet. Advertisement for shop at home on the back, which is kind of interesting. And then we have these little set advertisements, which is actually kind of cool because it gives us a little taste of the line. I'm not so familiar with this one, but I do remember that set. Never got it. Really wanted it ever since I discovered it on Brickset like a few years ago, because it's a whole freaking fort, which it goes on eBay for like hundreds of dollars, so good luck getting that. Love the dragon builds in this line, because look at those dragons. They're probably the best looking dragons I've ever seen in LEGO. This one's actually kind of lame, honestly, but these 2 look awesome. This little Viking ship kicking myself because I could have brought that set for like $35 on eBay, buy it now, and it disappeared like minutes later. And I was just like, meh, maybe I'll put it on my watch list, and it disappeared. And I was like, oh crap, I didn't know it was that expensive. Then they have this big warship, which I mean the warship looks cool. I don't know. Not so pleased. I'm not pleased, but I'm more hyped for that right there. That looks so cool. It's like a sea creature, and it looks incredible. Other than that, those were the only 4 sets for 2005. But yeah, pretty interesting just looking back at that. So this is a good set, don't get me wrong. It's $5, and you got a very unconventional build with the beast, a nice minifigure, and even a little battle station. So much for a $5 set. Like nowadays, this would be a $13 set. Either way, what this set is not a good standalone set. I wouldn't say that, because the build for this guy is so unconventional. It really fits in more with the other Viking builds. So if you buy this set on eBay, I would say don't buy it unless you plan on getting other Viking sets. Do I plan on getting other Viking sets? Yes. I will get at least one more because I do want to have a little bit of a Viking scene. You see, what's going to happen is I'm going to start shifting my display from more modern stuff to a mix of modern stuff and classic stuff. This isn't really classic, but it's older, and I want more variety than just, putting out the same modern stuff over and over again. So we'll see how that goes out, and we'll see which ones I buy next. But yeah, I do enjoy this set. I do think it's a really good set. It's just something that's not really a good standalone set because it has a very different Lego-esque style than many of the castle themes. So that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Tell me what you guys think of this whole line in general, and I'll see you guys later.